Look, you put Gary aside. Hey, Gary, the goats. He calls us the goats.
What's up, G Money?
Y'all come on in. If you have any ideas, I am open to them. I told y'all, just to remind you, I'm not a doctor, lawyer, Indian chief. I'm just a grateful recovering addict who offers her information and education that she knows, that help her get clean, which is myself. Saying her is myself, and I'm going to share it to you. I'm going to always, as long as I can do this, I'm going to always do it to try to help the still suffering and the still closet sufferings. You know what I mean? And help the families that don't understand us. I hope we're offering you enough information so you can get to understand how disease works, and of seeing your loved ones in a different way. Not that way ain't real. You know what I mean? Not that way ain't the only reason, but it's to allow you to know how we function when we're not in control of ourselves. It is a disease that is cunning, baffling, and powerful, that has the most of us, and whooping our butts. Just simple as that, point blank. It just takes our brains, our thinking, our emotions, everything, and it beats us up. And when we try to come out and when we try to say, I'm going to stop, I'm not going to do this no more. Hey, look, it's stronger than us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The dope is just, it's stronger than us. And we have to learn how to overcome it, and it takes wanting to do it, surrendering and willing, to learn how to listen so you can hear, and then you'll start getting this and put it where I got Trey in remission, because that's the only place it can go. That's what I feel, Jeff. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You don't get rid of it. It's a lifetime, so you just have to know how to keep it where it's at and know when it's coming. You know what I mean? It's in your head and how it works, basically, is what I'm saying. But I got my boy Jeff here, Jeff Grazier, and I'm going to give this mic to him because I'm just giving y'all that introduction. I know I did it enough on my flyers. and on every segment, but we got the man here. Come on, let's give you some hearts and let's give you some applause.
Nice.
All right?
Thank you. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know where I'm going to start at with this, but I was thinking, because you say a lot every week, I watch your lives and you talk about addiction being a disease. So I really want to talk about, because I have a feeling that people that's like looking in probably have their own thoughts, like addiction is a disease. So, I wanted to add some more content to the disease and what that really means is the disease is a concept, so some people that might be out there and they think, people don't sign up for, diabetes, or they don't sign up for heart conditions, they don't sign up, but, they're looking and thinking the disease, how can addiction be a disease?
Hey, Nye.
People choose to do what they do.
Kiana.
Hey, King. People choose to do what they do.
Absolutely.
And I just want to go in a little more detail about the disease and the concept of the disease, the first thing, is to really just tell you myself that I'm a person, identify as a person in recovery. I was introduced to the 12-step fellowship back in 1990. I wound up going there because at the end of my rope, I found myself in the detention center, 8201 State Road, and I used my one phone call to call my mom and say, hey, Mom, I'm in jail. And she said, you where you want to be, and hung the phone up on me. That one call. So, and at that time, I really couldn't process that. I'm your son. At that time, I'm your only son. How you want to hang the phone up on me? Goes back to that disease that, we're starting off with. The core of the disease is our total self-centeredness. Wow. So we don't really think about the next person, their feelings, what we may have took them through, all the lies and all the deception and stuff like that. We don't think about that stuff. We only think about what's going on with us in that moment. And in that moment, I was in jail, and I was calling my mom and say, hey, I'm in jail, thinking... She told me when I was 15. This is my first and last time coming to get you. So one thing my mom was a firm boundary holder. So the people that's out there, You know, you have family members that like, may suffer from the disease of addiction, or we'll say suffer from using drugs and alcohol. You know,
And just mention pills for me.
and pills are part of that.
Yeah, you know why I'm saying that? Because you're sharing a story so far, just like I did my son. Say the same thing.
Right.
So I'm down with mom.
Well, boundaries. You know what I'm saying? So family members are people who suffer from
Erica
the
Granger.
disease. That's my wife.
That's right.
So people that suffer from the disease of addiction and family members, you know, you have to hold boundaries. You know, I'm grateful today, even though I couldn't process it 34 years ago, 35 years ago, I couldn't process that. You know, but I'm grateful today that my mom held those boundaries.
Yes, indeed.
You know, she gave me a choice at the age of 16. So, you know, in the moment, I was like, my mom kicked me out. But my mom gave me a choice. She said, either my way or the highway.
That's right.
But I'm smart. I know everything. I took the highway.
Mm-hmm.
And
So did my son.
I took the highway with, I'm going to show you better than I can tell you.
Exactly.
As soon as I found myself in a rut or something like that, I'm on the phone again. Like, hey, mom. But, you know, she held me to that.
Yeah.
She held me to that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I found myself in 8201 State Road. You know, that was my third time there. So the first time I went there, I knew jail ain't for me.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle, jail's not for me. You know, that's not, you know, a thing for me. I already knew it. I mean, I went back 2 more times. You know, but the third time when I made that call and she was like, where you want to be after I got out, I took that resource book.
Hey, Bree.
Hey, Bree. I took that resource book and I went through it and I found myself in a program, you know. So that's how I was introduced to the 12-Step Fellowship, you know. And back then it was like, it wasn't as, you know, watered down as it is now. It was really like tough love back then. Like,
real tough love.
People would be saying things like, if we want to get high, we'll add you. In the meantime, sit down, shut the F up.
Yeah.
You know, take the cotton out your ears, put it in your
Mark.
mouth. Don't say nothing, you know. And, you know, that worked for me at the time, you know. So,
It was like, it put like a little tense in you, didn't it?
yeah, well,
like
initially,
people, even though it was bad.
Initially,
you know?
I walked in there and somebody said, shut the F up, you know? And I was like, looking at this guy, he's 6'5", and I'm like, how can I punch him in his mouth and not get hit? But for real,
back then wasn't no joke.
yo, I ain't want no real smoke, but I was thinking, like, who is he talking to?
Yeah, you had to keep that JB.
And I left.
Yeah.
I left the meeting that
You walked
day.
out?
I left the meeting. And you know, as I'm walking down the steps, he was like, yeah, go ahead. You're a quitter. Go ahead. You ain't, you know, he was, that military stuff.
They
you
had
know?
no problem with telling you about yourself.
I got
hey,
down.
Kimmy. Kim used to wear that.
Hey, I got down to the bottom of the steps and I thought, you need that paper sign. So you better go back up. So I went back up there and got my paper signed. So, you know, and I did that. You know, I made 90 meetings, 90 days. I worked with a sponsor.
Awesome.
You know, I got a home group. I was involved. I showed up at a meeting one day. Somebody said, hey, you want a job? I was like, yeah, I want a job. But up until then, it was like, what I was doing was simple enough for me, you know. You know, the guy told me what to do, where to go. I did it, and that was my introduction to the human service field. So, November 1993, I was introduced to the human service field. I worked at an agency, you know, and it was like a shell shock, but just like, I never thought 31 years later, I would be like still working in the human service field.
Absolutely.
I just went there like, somebody said, you want a job? Yeah, I want a job. Thank you. I'll take the job, you know. So I just want to like just give y'all a little bit about my background. That was just like a little bit. I have plenty more, but you know, I just wanted to like go in depth more about the disease and the disease concept. You know, and the core of the disease is total self-centeredness.
Hey, Marquise.
You know, but the disease is made up of 2 things: obsession and compulsion.
Go ahead.
So that's what the disease is made up of. You know, so if you want to know what, you know, compulsion is
Hey, nephew,
once you start using, you can't stop on your own power or will. You know, once having started the process with 1 pill, 1 fix, 1 drink, 1 drug, you cannot stop on your own power or will. That's what the compulsion is. The obsession is the thoughts, the obsessive thoughts. You know, a fixed and unoften an often unreasonable idea or thought, such as using using drugs again to make yourself feel better. That's what the obsession is. So when people like early in recovery, they struggle with, can they do it? Can't they do it? I can't do it this time. Or maybe, I don't want to do it, or I'm not worthy of doing it. It's just the obsessive thoughts, the obsessive thoughts that people have. And if you have family members and they may be in treatment, what they'll do is they'll call you on the phone and they'll say like all sorts of things that's wrong with the program they at, because they want you to what? Co-sign their thoughts.
And enable them.
It's the total self-centeredness. It's right back to that again, and
hey, Mayor.
I like to say, hey, that's Omar?
Yeah, Omar and Mary, yeah.
Oh, so I like to say that when you have somebody that is struggling with the disease of addiction, and I want to also tell you that the disease of addiction, you may think that, it's a choice people choose to use. People don't have a choice when they're caught up in the grips. There's no choice. You may think that your loved ones have a choice. They don't have no choice. People don't gain the choice or the power of choice until they engage in that 12-step process. In the 12-step process, anybody that ever been clean before and used again, they didn't work a thorough first step that moment.
Absolutely.
That's the step that you got to work thorough every day.
Right.
We admit that we're powerless over our addiction, or we admit that we're powerless over alcohol, and our lives have become unmanageable. Some people think powerless. I'm not powerless.
Words are vicious.
I'm not powerless over anything. But it's not saying that you're weak. It's not saying that you're open for people to take advantage of you. It's saying that you're powerless over your addiction, or you're powerless over alcohol. It's something like going to sleep at night and saying, I'm never doing this again.
Yep. How many nights you had like that?
And then you wake up and the first thing you do
is do that.
Is do it again.
Yeah.
Is do it again. So because you have not got in touch with the powerlessness of your addiction.
That's right.
Or the powerlessness over alcohol.
That's right.
But once people get in touch with the powerlessness, that powerful word, but it's a tricky word, once they get in touch with that word, they gain some sort of power.
Yeah.
You gain the power of choice. Once you admit that you're powerless, you gain the power of choice.
That's
you
right.
never have to live the way you were living again.
That's right.
Ever again. And it's a program of action. Some people say, well, what is recovery? Recovery is like gaining everything that I lost back. That's not what recovery is.
That's right.
Recovery is an active change of ideas, attitudes, and behaviors.
Go ahead.
That's what recovery is. So once you get in touch with that, you understand that it's a program of action. It's a lifestyle of action.
Hey, you dear.
When you think you got the answer, the question changes. That's what that means. That's what that means. So, we evolve. We continuously evolve. When we stay stagnated and dormant, we entertain crazy thoughts.
That's right.
We get back in touch with the obsession.
Yep.
Sometimes the obsession will tell us, what? You've been doing good.
Okay, Q. You up on
You've
here
been
now?
doing good.
Jeff here.
What's up, Q? You deserve. You working. You doing things the right way. You doing the right things for your family, or you trying to be a productive member of society. You deserve it. You can have one. You can just do it one time. Ain't nobody going to know.
Nope.
That's what the thoughts will tell you. And before you know it, you're back off the right, because they tell you in the rooms that you pick up where you start off at.
That's right.
So you put down the substance, you live a recovering lifestyle, you accumulate some things, and you pick up again, and everything that you accumulated over those years or months or whatever is going like that. It's the first thing to go.
Yep.
And then you wagging yourself, your self-pity, and you just in your own way, because it takes courage.
I like how you said that, the self-pity part. You know what I mean? And that hurts bad.
Yeah.
That hurts bad. That make you think you just lost everything and you can't do it, and nothing's gonna work for me. All these things disease puts in your mind. you know, to have you talking to keep yourself sick,
Yeah.
you know, and feeling sorry for yourself.
Yeah.
But knew from the door you couldn't do it.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we have like delusions of grandeur. There's some other words that they
Getting
use
cocky.
across up. You know,
Cocky.
the
Getting cocky.
delusions of grandeur. You know, what is that? You know, their ideas, fictitious things that we believe about ourselves, or you know, identity, false identities, or you know, powers that we may have. Such like, here's one: I can stop whenever I want to.
That's the best one. That's the one we all eat that up.
You know, some people think they can. You know,
Yeah.
I deal with people. I work in the field. I've been working in the field for a while. I've been at a place in Delaware County for almost 19 years.
Yeah.
You know, and I hear a lot of different stories. You know,
Do we?
I hear a lot of different
Do
stories.
we?
But I always try to encourage people, and I always try to like empower people, and I always tell people to lift your head up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't be down. Don't beat yourself down. Like, you can do this. You know, I carry myself a certain way, and people, at least I try to, because we human. And we make
Right.
mistakes. You know, I try to carry myself a certain manner. You know, like a vision of hope, a true vision of hope for people. But one thing I always tell people is that you could do this too. You could do everything that I'm doing. You could do it too.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's because a lot of times people don't think that they can.
You know what's crazy about when they come in the programs? They look at us like we their enemy.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
see that?
Sometimes,
That's
yeah.
that crazy.
Sometimes.
They
But,
blame,
you know,
like you said, they blame it on the place.
yeah. Well, one thing I learned though through the years is like to try to like be empathetic with people and just let them know I'm not against you.
Absolutely.
I'm not against you.
There you go.
You know, like, I'm here to help. I'm here to assist you in any way I can. You know, like, I
Hey, Kim.
can't pay your back rent. I can't catch your car note up. I can't do any of that stuff. But if I need to listen, if you need somebody to listen,
There it
if
is.
I'm able to like purge my closet and give you something, you know, like, I'll do that type of stuff. You know, if I just need to show up, I know showing up is a big thing. Like, people, you know, they don't expect to see like the consistency, because people let them down all the time, you know. So I like to try to like live my life that way in real time.
Kimberly Ann.
Who is it? Kimberly Ann.
Kim.
Oh, Kim. Hey, what's up, Kim? How you doing? I'm sorry. Yeah, but that's what I try to do. So I just wanted to like come on, you know, I wanted to give a brief little thing about myself, but I also wanted to like go in depth a little bit about the disease, because I felt like people were thinking, the disease, how can addiction be a disease? And I just wanted to say that the disease is a concept, you know, and in order for an individual to like even grasp onto that, they have to buy into it.
Exactly.
You know, you have to buy into the disease being a concept, and the concept and what it's made up of is obsession and compulsion.
Absolutely.
You know, once having started the process with one fix, one pill, one drink, or one drug, we can't stop through our own power of will. That's the compulsion.
Y'all see why I got him on here? Because he could speak this in different words than me. Because he's the same though, you know, and pretty much we saying pretty much the same thing. He just got it on the real. I break down shit too. See, I said the shit word. I said I wasn't gonna say it tonight. You know what I mean? But this is what I mean by individual people,
Right.
And how they can share with you, you know, their butt about it.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? And we all meaning the same thing.
Right.
You know, we just trying to give you everything in what any of us know, you know, because somebody going to hear something from you that they didn't hear from me.
Right.
Someone might understand you a little bit more clear clinically. Clinically, I'm old school. You feel me, bro? I can get down off the old school. You follow? But this is why I'm asking you guys to come on and share. Come on and share what you know, because there's all kinds of people out here with different questions, not really feeling, may not even be feeling my concept. You know what I mean? Or what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Well, here it comes in another way.
Right.
I love when he talks, and he speaks so clearly, and he say things so different than me. You know what I mean? Seriously. And I'm being real serious about it, which helps me.
Right.
You know, being on here, I'm showing off a little bit now. I'm trying to hold my behavior, you know, with the mouthy mouth. You follow what I'm saying? Because I need him to say what he has, you know, and offer you in another language than me. You know what I'm saying? But it's working for somebody. And the information and the education that he's sending off is exactly what you need to hear in this fashion. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Life beyond our wildest dreams. You know, that's what, you know, some of the 12-step programs talk about, you know, dreams coming true, things that you think you'd never be able to do, you're able to achieve them, you know.
Kiana said, Jeff, great job. You simplified the definition of addiction.
Thank you. I wanted to say that about the, you know, the obsession again. A fixed and often unreasonable idea. Fixed means that, you know, like if you got a loved one in treatment or they're in the program, they already thought about this. This is a fixed idea that they're calling you on the phone, telling you that they're going to do outpatient this time.
Yep.
This is some of the things that we hear on the, like, I work in the field.
All the
this
time.
is what people say, like, I listen to them and they want us to lie to their family members and stuff. We're not doing that. We don't, I don't even tell the truth to your family. I'm not going to, like, make up a story or co-sign your story.
Hey, Trees.
But the obsession again, a fixed and often unreasonable idea or thought, such as resuming the use of drugs to feel better.
Go ahead.
They say, like, if you use,
hey Danny,
but they say you lose if you use. If you use, you lose. They also say that using only make your issues worse. So you're gonna be faced with, or people gonna be faced with, all sorts of adversities in the process of recovery. What is recovery again? An active change of ideas, attitudes, and behaviors.
Break it down, Jeff.
You're going to be faced with all sorts of adversities in the process of recovery. But if you use, all that stuff go to the back burner, and it's all about the using at that time.
Absolutely.
It's all about that. So yeah, when I first came around, I had legal issues going on. I had to go to court. I was faced with some charges, some theft and burglary charges. Remember I told you I wound up in jail. Well, some of that stuff, but I went to court. I handled that. I was given house arrest, and, I walked that off and I became eventually a productive member, of society. So, and it just came.
Yeah, that word, society.
Yeah, but that just came from following other ways, following other ways that people were showing me. My thinking wasn't really the best thinking. My best thinking got me into places such as 8201 State Road.
Which we used to call Broad Meadows out here.
Yeah, that was my best thinking got me there. Because, they say, when you think nobody knows, everybody knows. So I'm going in different places thinking nobody can see what I'm doing. I wasn't good at what I was doing because I was getting caught. Like I told you.
Doing, but we think we doing.
Yeah, I wasn't really good. It's like I said, jail wasn't for me. I knew jail wasn't for me. I knew that wasn't for me. So I think sometimes it might be for people because people say things like, I can jail with no problem. Jail wasn't for me.
They become accustomed to it.
Yeah, it wasn't for me at all.
It's easy.
Yeah, but I knew, I wound up going back a couple more times, but eventually, I was like, this for the birds. I can't do this.
As we all.
This is not for me. So just following other people's direction got me where I'm at today. I also want to say it was like a tad bit of resentment there because I told you, when my mom hung up on me, I was like, I'm your son, your only son. Well, I took that and said, I'm going to show you. Oh, I'll show you. Next thing you know, I got a year clean. You know what I'm saying? And now we talking again. Now we mending our relationship. Things started patching up. I got to the point where I spoke to my mom every day. We had became best friends. We were able to process what happened with me leaving. We was able to process with what happened with her hanging up that phone, and she was able to tell me. I'm really thankful for her boundaries. But she was able to tell me that she could not afford to have me take her down.
Mary said the same thing Bree said.
Well, that's real stuff. You know, but she told me I couldn't afford to have you take me down with you. You was heading in the wrong direction. I couldn't go down there with you. I just had to pray. I had to pray for you every night.
You know how I felt about that though? After a while, because I was I used to be out there. I used to be in the society, selling, dealing, you know, and all that stuff. And I felt some of the emotions that my sickness, disease was eating real hard off of me, making me feel bad, was because I allowed my boys to see these things. You know what I mean? So they kind of like, look at this and say it's okay. You know what I mean? And this is when my son died, I started feeling like that. You know what I mean? How it's like I introduced them. You know what I mean? So our stories switch up a little bit from how your mind was. And at the beginning, because when I got in recovery, I was in recovery when I started thinking like this. And I'm like, I told you this, I told you that. You know what I mean? You think you know everything. He thought pills wasn't drugs. Taking pills wasn't drugs. That's when it was starting to come real popular. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to explain to him. And when he first got locked up the first time, I went to see him. You know what I mean? Gave him a couple $. I said, but this is going to be last time. Second time, but he couldn't understand it.
Right.
I'm mom. So I supposed to,
Right.
Do as he say and as he wants. I just want to share that part because I know a lot of us been through that. You know what I mean? And you supposed to be there. I said, nigga, this is where you want to be, and this is what you going to do. You know what I mean? I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. I got 4 other kids, I would say. You know what I mean? That I got to do. I got to work. I got to do this, the usual. But he was mad at me for that. He was angry at me for that. And in his mind, he was saying that I didn't care. And that was never true.
Right.
It was trying to say, stop going to jail.
Right.
You ain't got to be out there doing that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Me knowing how smart he was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it was his choice.
Right.
To do that. And like your mom said, I wasn't dragging down with that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But if they had that ammo on me, where they could say, well, you did it. You was out there.
Right.
See, I'm coming from another curve with you on that. You know what I mean? As a mother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that level of respect was crashed.
I'm glad you said that though, Trey, because one thing I wanted to say is that for people that suffer from the disease of addiction, or people that's trying to be early in recovery and maybe you're not in touch with that if you ask, and I know in the past I've asked people, to make a list of people that you harmed, and on that list they'll name all the people in the world.
Michelle saying Al-Anon does wonders. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with you.
We're going to get to that too.
They'll make a list of all the people in the world that they harmed except themselves.
Yep.
They won't put yourself on that list.
Absolutely.
Put yourself on that list. You harm yourself, and it's not until people get in touch with the harm that they caused themselves that they won't stand their ground with, you're not going to beat me up with that. Like once you forgive yourself, you're able to hold boundaries with other people, because people will try to keep you. I got people that I'll see right now, and I'm from South Philadelphia. I got people that I would see right now.
That's why y'all can see an Eagles fan.
Yeah,
I'm standing up for my boys.
I got our Super Bowl stuff
that's
on.
what I'm doing. That's right.
I got people that I would see today that I harmed 35 plus years ago that would still roll their eyes at me. I've been living like a pretty productive life, Yeah, we all have hiccups and we all have like things that we could have done different. Nobody's perfect. But I'm not the person I was 35 years ago. I'm not that person,
That's right.
But I got people that still, but guess what? That's their stuff.
That's right.
That's their stuff.
That's right. People, places, and things
will get you high before you get them clean.
Oh, go ahead.
People, places, and things. They will get you high. So there's no need, if you're early in recovery, to have to go test your sobriety by going to read the basic text.
Megan, let me tell you, Megan said, biggest thing I had to do was forgive myself. I could never gotten and stayed clean.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's some real stuff right there,
that's
Megan.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah, that's some real. You gotta forgive yourself.
That's right. Starts with who?
You gotta forgive yourself. You're worthy. That's a part of that. Self-worth. You're worthy to be forgiven. Sometimes if you don't, you'll stay stuck where you at. Ooh. And guess what people will do? People will keep you stuck.
If you right there. Right there.
They'll keep you stuck if you let them. You know,
Right.
so you can't be like, you know, like if you evolve into who you are, yeah, you evolving into who you are, and it's okay that people will hold their resentments, but you know, when it comes down to like, and the steps are in order, you know, and we get to like, you know, making a list of amends, like just making that list, you know, like a lot of times people try to make direct amends when they're not ready for them.
Absolutely, Shelley. People will keep you stuck
Yeah, yeah.
if
Like,
you allow them.
if you let them, but you know, like, but just being willing to add people once you get a sponsor and you take the steps in order, you know, and you make your list. Just making that list and being willing to put people that you may have harmed on that list is good enough for the moment. When it's time for you to make those amends, it's going to happen beyond your control.
That's right.
You'll be able to make the amends when you have to, the direct amends.
Bree is saying she's still learning how to forgive herself.
It's early for you.
It's early, Bree.
It's early for you.
But keep forgiving yourself.
Right.
Keep using your steps. Keep using the medication that you've gotten from the facilities that you was in. Keep watching this live. Keep asking questions. Keep letting somebody know, like a sponsor, you know, or it could be me, it could be whoever you want. You know what I mean? To help you when these thoughts, these feelings come to you. Because like I said, disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful, and this is how it works. It's only a part of it. Bree, you're doing a great job.
Right.
Just keep doing what you're doing and don't fall into the mad woman that's up inside your head. You follow? Because that's what it does. You know, it takes you from you and don't want to allow you to become you in a better light, in a better way of feeling, looking, and seeing things.
Positive affirmations work. You're worthy.
See? You
Yeah.
speak that shit up here. Speak. That's why I want everybody on here.
Positive affirmations.
Go ahead,
Some people
Jeff.
write stuff on their mirrors. You are worthy. You are beautiful.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
you deserve this.
I am somebody.
I am somebody. That stuff works. You read
That's
it.
right.
They say early in recovery, you fake it till you make it. You know, but, you know, take it a day at a time, too. Keep it simple.
One day at a time. That's right.
One day at a time and keeping it simple.
Yep.
The simplest things, you know, next thing you know, you're accumulating some time. You done been through, like, you're going to get hit with adversity. You're going to get hit with a fork in the road, like I like to call them.
Go ahead.
You know, and when you come to the fork in the road, because there's going to be a bunch of forks in the road.
Mm-hmm. That hole. I tell them they
Right.
got a hole in the
Yeah.
in the middle of the road, and you don't know how to walk around it. You walk into it.
Right. But it's practice, though. So
It
the more
takes
you
every day of
practice,
practice.
coming to the forks in the road and doing things different, when you come to these forks in the future, you're going to do things different before you even thought about anything else.
That's right.
You know, that's just how it works. That's how it works. You know, like, you know, it becomes second nature.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I've had great losses in my process, you know.
People.
People,
Places and things. Yep.
Yeah, my great grandmother passed away. My mom is 6.5 years clean, passed away. You know, but we stayed clean, you know, and then we had to know when to tap into our resources.
Absolutely.
You know, we don't tap into the resource after the fact.
You got to.
You got to tap into your resource before.
Absolutely.
Process it before. That's when you tap into your resources.
Love this.
You know, I was kidding. You know, when anybody experienced death, you know, like I had people. My mom was the person who took care of like the business when people died in the family. That just skipped my aunts and uncles. It was my mom, and it went to me. So then I had all these people in my ear about what I should do, what I shouldn't do, and she had just got taken out the house. So I had to like remove myself from that and go tap into the people. You know, like I had to, and you know, when you find that support, you know, like the people will support you through situations such as that.
Danielle said change doesn't happen with challenges.
That's me with my hands. That's me with my hands. I talk with my hands. I'm sorry. You know, I'm a South Philadelphia. Well, no, I got stop. I don't know if I need to stop saying that, but I am a South Philadelphian. I lived in Chester. I lived in Chester for the last 17 years, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. But you know, I always talk with my hands. You know, I gotta get better
Hey
with that.
nephew, love you too.
But yeah, so real quick. I know we probably getting short.
No, we ain't getting short. We rolling. Let's go.
All right, cool. So I just wanted to also say, like Trey has been saying every week, she says like the disease of addiction is cunning, baffling, and powerful. It is. It is. It's so tricky. The disease will make you feel like you don't have an issue. The disease will make you feel, or the cunning, baffling piece of it will make you feel like it wasn't it wasn't as bad as it was.
As it was.
You know, like, or you can control your use, or you can do it different this time.
You can do it different.
You know, I want to add a couple more attributes to that, though.
Please, and it make you believe this shit, though, don't it?
The disease of addiction also is progressive. So, like, you know, like it gets worse.
Yes, it does.
It's also incurable. We only put it under arrest.
I call it remission. Where Trey at?
Yeah, that's all we do is incurable. So it's the different things that you can do to like arrest it.
That's right.
But guess what happens while you got it in remission or under arrest? It's waiting for you to make a mistake, to slip up. And it's also fatal. That's the end of it. It's fatal. The disease of addiction is fatal. Like you may not have another recovery or another opportunity in you. You know, you might have another use in you, but you might not be able to get back. You know.
Let us speak on this a little bit. You have Kiana that says, change most definitely does change with challenges. Sometimes challenges force you into space that the only option is to seek help. Danielle is saying change doesn't happen without challenges. My bad. She said.
Oh, she said it's a typo.
Yeah.
I was thinking when I read that, I was like,
I just wanted to clear that up.
I was thinking when I read that.
Did you see we got quiet?
Yeah, I was like, like I don't want to. That's your perspective.
Yeah, we get you to this
like, okay, yeah, that's your perspective.
That's what you feel, and that's what this is all about.
Yeah, I can't tell you how to feel.
It's about what you feel too.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
It's about whatever you say. It's whatever you say is something that we can say that like this just did.
Right.
Put it right back together. Now all that was a typo because in my head was like, nah, Danielle wouldn't say something like that. For real. That's why I was like,
yeah, but I ain't saying no. I ain't go against you.
Because she lived the addiction life with me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so you know, I know she knows.
Yeah, but I wasn't saying nothing against it. Like, okay.
No, never will we say anything against whatever you say, because you are entitled to feel and say whatever. This is what I've been saying from day one of this live. I need you to say things. I want you to say things on what you feel. It's just not about what we saying.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you got to get it too.
Right.
This is what this is all about. I love this. I told y'all when he come on here, I knew it was going to be great. You know what I mean? Because see, Jeff speak that language. I can't speak me. I speak that real shit. Y'all know. I'm over here shaking because I just want to say shit. Well, my brother got this. I'm standing back. My brother got this. I just pop in and out. I ain't going to say cuss words either.
Oh, that's cool. Curse. I
curse. I know that, but I'm trying to be like, you know, like up against you and shit. I'm faking like a mug, y'all. I'm trying to be up here like this. Yeah, I ain't gonna say I'm gonna cuss word. You know what I mean? Because you know why? Because I'm listening. I'm listening because it's teaching me something too. I forgot how to say some of the things that you said so clearly and properly because I have become me, you know, and how I share things. But this is exactly how I got it, though. You know what I mean? A lot of ways that you put this and saying is, I know it. I know it for a fact. I may not speak that way. You know what I mean? I speak my way because whatever starts with me, ends with me. You know what I'm saying?
And y'all said, say shit, Ani.
Shit. But this is what I told y'all. I want to introduce Jeff again to everybody who came on a little late. This is Jeff Grazier. This is the man that I've been trying to get to come on here because I admire him so much. He has so much strength in this. He has so much education in this. You know what I mean? I'm proud of him.
Thank you.
I've been knowing Jeff how many years now? About 15?
14,
15 years.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was going to like him when I first went to the job because he's so straight and forward and shit. You know what I mean? I had to think a few times, like, how am I going to take this guy? You know what I mean? Because I know me and I know and I'm that way to this day. Steady going all the way. Steady going. But I find him now, he is one of my bestest, dearest friends. You know what I mean? He keep it real, he keep it live, and he keep it raw with me. You know what I mean? And even though I share the way that I share, he shares this way with me. You know what I mean? And I hear and understand everything he's saying. You know, I just break it down a little raw in our language. That's all. You know what I mean? But I love for him to share the way that he's sharing, because a lot of people are gonna relate to you. They're gonna relate to this thing. You hear what I'm saying? You went in on him.
A little bit.
Now you're gonna go with some more. I'm gonna shut up in a minute.
No, I
just want the ones that didn't know who you was, but I'm quite sure they do, because I put out 1,000 flyers to know he here for real. You follow? So, Jeff, I'm gonna get this back to you, because I love listening to when you share. I love it.
Thanks. I was just adding on to the other attributes for like the cunning, baffling, and powerful piece. So progressive, we went through progressive.
What she say? But I labeled it. Go ahead.
Incurable and fatal. You know, people die from using. You know, like it's just like, you know, maybe it's unspoken truth. You know, but people, everybody, you know, most people have somebody that they know that used and died from this.
This is what she's saying. Look, this is Rabia. I work with Rabia.
I know Rabia, yeah.
You can read. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Move it up some.
Yeah. Right. Husband for almost 20 years. I became sick with addiction to confront to comfort food, and this has helped me for several reasons. Then I don't know if
we can get the rest of it on there.
Oh,
okay. For several reasons, and what I'm getting from it, Rabia. Good to see you, bro. That's what
same here, yeah, Rabia. I haven't seen you in a while, but yeah, how you doing? Definitely know her.
What you're saying, Rabia, is such a blessing, you know, and another blessing received of what I've been praying for and asking for, that people who live with addicts and alcoholics can get to understand how disease works in our heads and what it does and how it affects us. You know what I mean? And it's the drugs that we blame it on, but it's what the drug do to us. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I decided to come on this live, because it's poison. It eats our brains. It just eats us up slowly. You know what I mean? And it takes our emotions, and we can't help what we do. We have to feed the drug. So when you say a crackhead husband, you know what I mean? These are the names, but if you call them a crackhead, you offend them. You call them a crackhead, they ready to fight. You call them a crackhead, they taking this shit personal. It ain't about the drugs, it's about you calling them a crackhead. You know what I'm saying? So I love the fact that you stated that, so I can say what I just said, because that is another part of the sickness and how it works. Like Jeff was saying, they'll say, oh, I can do this, this ain't nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? But challenge them,
right.
and say, you going back, all I have to do is say to my son, you going back to jail.
Right.
I offended him.
Right.
Now it's fighting words. He don't like me no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but you also was enabling him on that point, I think, for him to be around that long. You know what I mean? You not having the understanding and the knowledge, just loving him, hoping that he will stop. You know what I'm saying? You can't fix him. He can only fix himself.
Those programs, like Michelle mentioned when she wrote on there, Nar-Anon and Al-Anon, they really work.
Absolutely.
They're really good
I told
programs.
Y'all about that, yes.
Nar-Anon and Al-Anon for family members.
I didn't say Nar-Anon because I didn't even get that one. I'm off old school.
Oh, yeah. So
Al-Anon.
Al-Anon.
Yeah, so explain Nar-Anon.
Al-Anon is alcoholics, family members of
Right.
alcoholics. Nar-Anon is family members of narcotics.
Narcotic. Okay, gotcha.
So they're all based off of Al-Anon. So they have different family programs, and you get a sponsor. It's the same thing. You get a sponsor. They have steps, and they just help you. You know, they support you with setting boundaries. Some people struggle with that.
Very hard.
Some people struggle with setting boundaries.
Very hard.
You know, so like, you know, there are good programs to look into. Also, I don't know if I want to plug, but we have a family support group right in Brookhaven.
Plug it in, yes. Yeah. Plug it in, yes.
So the Keystone Center in Chester, I mean, that's where I'm employed at. But
and me.
we have a family support group right in right in Brookhaven. We meet on Wednesdays at 6 o'clock, and we're trying to build it back up. COVID came and shut stuff down, but we're trying to build that back up. And we used to have like a group of family members. Your loved one does not have to be currently enrolled in the Keystone Center. Your loved one just have to have issues with addiction. And we trying to build that community back up where people that have loved ones.
Hey, Carrie King.
Dr. King, Carrie King.
King in the house.
Carrie King, when I first came to Keystone,
hey, girl.
Thank you.
Yes.
But, so we're just trying to build that program back up where people who have family members that struggle with disease of addiction can support each other.
Hey, daughter. Why?
Wednesdays at 6 o'clock. Every Wednesday.
Carrie.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Carrie in a long time. I should call her.
Yeah, we all need to stay in touch a little bit more.
Love you too, Carrie.
Hey, Chanel. And I want to say, everybody, pray for my daughters. They lost their father, and they trying their best to do everything that they need to do for this. I just asking you guys to just put them in your prayers. Okay.
Yeah. So where was we at with this? So
I don't know. I kicked it all off. Yeah, okay. Start where you want to start at, because everything you giving today, my brother, is needed. You know me. I'm always shouting out shit.
Yeah. No, I already went through those other attributes.
Those group, look, Michelle. You go, Shelly. Those group does wonderful for family members.
Well, they do. I mean, because you come in and you support each other. You bring the same issue. What you find out in meetings for people that's struggling with disease of addiction or struggling with using substances, we'll say, just like people that have family members, is that when you go to these places, meetings, you find out that you're not by yourself. A lot of times people are like, they're conditioned to deal with issues by themselves. And that's not always the best way to deal with it. And that's why, when tragedies happen, everybody's taken back like, that person was never like that. I didn't see that coming.
Yep.
Because they dealing with all this stuff by themselves.
Yeah. Look, I want to say another, I'm going to keep trying to answer something. Here go Kiana, who was in the wrong department with all this good stuff she throwing up on this damn life. You need to sit here too. You reading it?
Yeah. Addiction does not only mean the person abusing drugs. That is the obvious. Symptoms is about addictive behaviors. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And if when people like really dive into the 12-step work, they may get into contact with the total self-centeredness. I personally can go back to when I was in grammar school and how things need to revolve around me. And how I got a kick out of acting out because of the response I would get from the people who was observing that. Like how I spent a lot of my time in the upperclassmen. That's Kiana.
That's not our Kiana.
No, that's not Kiana. Okay.
Hi, Kiana, but having 10 years clean is absolutely beautiful. You hear
Congratulations,
me?
Kiana.
Congratulations to you.
I think I might know your sponsor. But anyway, yeah, I can go back to like grammar school and everything revolved around me. Total self-centeredness. The addictive personalities and behaviors, it goes way back. Those character defects and things like that, that we have, we just enhance it. Way before the substance, when the substance come into play, the character defects just become like tools to get what we want.
Absolutely.
So I deal with people on a regular, because we deal with things like thieves and stuff like that. People put the substance down, they still have all that stuff to do.
Still have that same behavior. You gotta change in the thinking.
Yeah.
Gotta change your thinking.
An active change of ideas, attitudes, and behaviors.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what recoveries is. An active change of ideas, attitudes, and behaviors.
Absolutely.
As soon as you think you got the answer, the question changes.
Yep. I want to bring this to them. This is one of my besties. Her name is May. May said, I know what addiction can do to a family firsthand. I don't know if you want me to share anything about that, May. I would rather you say you know, it's okay or whatever, but you have a story to tell. And I would love for you to come right here on this couch. You know, I love you with all my heart, friend. You know what I mean? And this is helping you. I see you on here a lot because we talk about a lot. You know what I mean? Because all of this is part of life and it's part of your life. But I'm going to let you give me the okay to do that, or have you come on and you share. There's a lot of people in your same boat. Trust me, it is. Okay.
Probably need to get Kiana Palm on here too.
Yeah, Kiana too. Yeah, Kiana is 10 years. Look, I'm trying to get y'all to this is what I ask you every Wednesday. I need you guys to come on this live. You don't know how it's helping you, so you know it's helping others. Mm-hmm. You know it's opening up the doors for a whole lot of people. And this is the purpose of putting this on live. You go on live, you find all kinds of crazy, dumb stuff, crazy stuff, cars, all kinds of stuff people doing today. You know what I mean? All kinds of crazy stuff. But this is needed. This is needed. This is what we deal with in our families, you know, surrounded by our loved ones. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And nobody has information the way that it's being given. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Not saying that rehabs don't give it to you. Absolutely do. But when you come into rehab, you only got a certain amount of days. You know what I mean? And 9 out of 10 when they come in, they plan first. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know, about time it's time to get the real stuff. When it's time to go, it's time for you to leave. Mm-hmm. You know, so I'm trying to get this message and these words out any way possible. And I figured it out. Social media. Mm-hmm. Everything is on this social media. I am so glad that we have this social media now. It gave me a purpose to like it, because I wasn't crazy about social media. You know, I used to talk about that stuff. Right. I wasn't crazy about it. But if I can do this and continue to do this, you know, prayers is well answered. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because, you know, we lose track of that. Right. That prayers don't work. And, you know, God don't love me. God don't do this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I know that he does. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I know what road he put me on. Just like the same road he put you on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? This was just what he had for us. Right. You follow what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And job well done, my brother. We do a great job. No, we ain't over yet. I'm just saying, you know, job well done. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying. It makes me just get even more inspired and love this shit. Mm-hmm. Shit.
That's right.
Shit. Okay? More and more and more. You know what I mean? And again, I am learning so much. You're bringing back so much to me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. How you're getting off on it. You know what I mean? You know me, I'm real and raw. I've been doing that shit how many years at our job? Just come up, pop, 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 pop. You know what I'm saying? But you are humbling me. You're humbling me even more because you say it so well. You know, that just like I told y'all, just because I've been clean years, don't mean I got it all or I know it all. I always have to hear. But when I'm hearing this, I'm listening. You know what I mean? And now I see, you know, so I'm so grateful for this show, man. This has been one of the best ones existing right now for me. I'm hyped. You know, I get high every show. I'm lit. Believe that. You know, but I'm getting back to Jeff.
So the cliches early for me was like, you know, was good. Like I raised kids off of the cliches.
Go ahead.
Like listening to art. I still say that a lot. Listening to art.
You talking about stop shouting people out. Shut up, Nye. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, so yeah, where was we at?
I don't know. I'm doing us off again. Just start somewhere. You got a whole bunch of shit. I don't know where we were. Michelle.
I want to say to people.
Look, Michelle, where was we at?
No, I want to add something though. I want people to know that.
Hey, Angie, my bestie.
That if you have a loved one that struggles with staying clean, you know, the shortcut is not the way. I know that they want to like sometimes say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and it's going to be different this time. I think that, you know, we have something.
Just as you started, I felt like I am happy.
We have something in the 12-step realm called a moment of silence. You know, so the moment.
We sure did. See, I forgot about that.
The moment of silence is like a powerful piece because the moment of silence is what guides people. If you buy into it, it guides people to a different way. It guides people to a moment of clarity where they can make a decision, such as going into treatment, you know. But the thing about the moment of clarity and going into treatment is that people, they tend to renege on that. Like, you know, like, I don't know what I was thinking at that moment. I'm not ready for this. No. You were ready at that moment, you know, so, you know, just ride that wave.
Yeah.
Ride that wave. You know, like, I don't want to get into the scientific stuff, but, you know, it's when people stop using substances, you know, they send their body through a shock.
Go ahead. That.
They send it through a shock. So if you were like living to use and use to live every day, like this is what you did. You ran until you couldn't run no more, until you passed out. You send your body through a shock when you abruptly stop. When you stop, you send your body through a shock. You know?
Okay, Rabia.
So part of that is you hit a low. So when you use it so much, you know, like you feel like, you know, you talk about the receptors in your brain and dopamine and all that type of stuff. Like, that's a scientific stuff, you know, but when we're using, the dopamine goes through the receptors like this, but when we stop, it goes like that. So then when you get those phone calls from people that's in treatment and they say it's nothing to do here. This is boring. It's like, there's nothing happening. You know, it's because the body's going through a shock. You know, and nobody can tell you when that desire is lifted. They can't tell you when it's lifted. You know, like, you know, at some point, the desire to use is lifted. You know, for me, it took 7 months of doing things that people told me to do before I was able to even hear something that I thought I could relate to. The whole time I'm going to meetings, I'm working, I got a sponsor, I'm hanging out at KFC, I'm doing all this stuff, you know, I'm fellowshipping, and I'm doing all the stuff that comes with that. I didn't believe I had an issue. I was a young boy.
Still didn't believe that.
Yeah, I didn't have an issue. You know, I was a young boy, I was homeless. You know, I was like in the program, you know, like I had stuff that was going on with me that still, this is the delusion of grandeur. This is what we talked about earlier today. You know, like it's the ideas and thoughts, you know, that, you know, the identity, false identity of yourself and stuff like that. Like, that's what I had. Like, you know, I didn't have a problem. It took 7 months for me to like hear something at a meeting that I was like, damn, that cat told I could relate to that. You know, so everything that I had a name after that, I started using for real. You know, like I started working with a sponsor on steps. I got involved at the home group with chairing meetings and, you know, being a stewardess. And, you know, back in the day, it wasn't a whole lot of 12-step NA meetings around, you know. So I'm a Philly guy. So, you know, there wasn't no meetings in my area, South Philly. It was like a lot of meetings in North Philly. So, you know, I was in North Philly. You know, I was making those meetings. I got involved when the South Philly area started coming around. I was involved with them, creating meetings, going up the area. Like, I was in service. And just being in service helped me stay on the straight and narrow. You know, so just wanted to touch that base a little bit. Like, when people using every day, or when they're using to live and living to use, and you stop, the body is shocked.
That's right.
And it takes a while for that to happen, that desire or that excitement. You're going to hit a low, but you can come out the low. You just got to, you know, stay on course and stay on track and just believe, you know, like tapping into some positive people that also believe into you and what you're trying to do, you know, because a lot of times we want to like believe in people that don't support our recovery. You know, like you want to hang out with somebody who's who's telling you that you can you can do one. That's people placing things. You know, like hanging out with somebody that's going to coach you into having one because it's going to be different this time is not going to support you.
It's not.
Like, you might have people in your life that can do one. You might have people in your life that can, you know, hang out a night and all damn night and get up and go to work. You know,
sociables.
Yeah, you might have people in your life like that, but that's not you.
You don't need, you have to change the people, places, and things.
Yeah, you gotta change.
It's gonna take a lot, but you're gonna benefit from all that you have to give up.
Right.
Trust me.
Yeah, and again, like, you know, like how tricky the disease is.
Go ahead.
It makes you, like, it will talk you into it's okay to have that one.
That's right.
It's okay, you can have one. You deserve that.
You're gonna be all right.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna do what you did the last time. You're gonna do it this way.
You earned that one. You earned it. You had a job now. She's speaking to you again. He's speaking to you. They're not hiding their pocketbooks and stuff away.
Yep.
They letting you in the house.
Yep.
You can just do one. It'll be fine. You know, and next thing you know,
you're right back where you left off.
And it was worse.
And it would say it again.
And it was worse.
Absolutely.
It don't
right
get better. It don't get better. And I see. It's not from my experience. I see it day and day. I'm in the field, and I see the progression in people's lives. They come back. They've lost 50, 60 pounds.
Yep.
You know, they look scruffy.
I mean, in a week.
Yeah, it happens quick.
It happens so
fast. It happens quick.
Yeah.
I also wanted to say, because you mentioned something about pills, I want to say that these days and age, they put in that fentanyl in everything. They're lacing fentanyl. They putting it in everyking.
And weed. Tell them, Jeff.
And
weed, too.
Weed, pills, they lacing it with everything. Why? Because guess what? You get hooked and you're coming back. You're going to get hooked, you're coming back. You got to have it. I've encountered people who told me that their drug of choice was heroin. And giving them a urine and they don't have a trace of heroin in their system. You know why?
Kiana, you are getting so many... what do you call this? Remark? I'm going to say remarks. You're getting so many requests, put it that way, requests to come on this live.
Oh, yeah, you got to come on.
I appreciate how you guys are communicating on this live. You're not just learning and realize y'all can do that on here. That's another good thing. That's another blessing. You know what I'm saying? Having a meeting within a meeting.
She got a strong story.
You got a strong... Your words is powerful.
No, I heard... she did, like, there's a piece I heard or seen of hers before, so she got a strong story.
Bishop, you need to come on here. I'm serious. I need you. You need to come on here, honey. You are a walking
I don't know if it was like
blessing.
It was some sort of video I seen of her. She got a strong story, Trey.
You are a walking testimony, a blessing.
But yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you though. Leave old people, places, things alone.
100%.
That's right. There's no lie there.
100%.
That's no lie there.
Absolutely.
There's no need to test your willingness. Like people, like you have people that will say you have willpower and all this stuff. It's like, don't buy into that hype. You know, don't test.
Hey,
don't test it.
What's up, Vanessa? Gotta be watching Tony on here.
Vanessa. Oh, yeah. What's up, Vanessa? Oh, what's up, Tony? Oh, I know Tony. Yeah. So don't buy into that hype though, because you don't have to like test your willingness or your how much willingness you have. You know, like if your higher power wants you to see whoever, your higher power will have y'all cross paths.
Go ahead.
That's how it's going to happen. That's how it's going to happen. You don't have to put yourself in that place. You don't have to take your NA basic text or your big book to the hit house.
Mo said Kiana has been doing the damn thing for a while, so you know Kiana, huh, Mo? We waiting for you too, Mo.
Yeah, you don't have to take your...
Y'all can come together.
You don't have to take your literature to the hit house to read it to who you know needs to hear it. One thing about the process...
Hey, Lynette.
What's up, Lynette? One thing about the recovery process is that the longer you stay in it, the more people you know from your past is going to fall in it.
Go ahead.
You want to see people... I'm talking about... I went to somebody who came through my job. He just celebrated 20 years. I went to his anniversary when he had 5 years. It was a meeting down South Philly. I went, that's my neck of the woods. I went in there and
say that one more time.
That's my neck of the woods.
We done heard this Philly.
I went down there and seen so many people who was like giving me the funny eye when I was hitting the pavement in those areas. Like, but they clean and got time clean.
Oh, wow. Ain't that a beautiful sight?
They got time clean.
God knows it is. Just.
So I'm saying that to say that you don't have to like test your willingness or how strong you are. Just continue to be a vision of hope. Sometimes if you continue to just do what you need to do for you,
that's it. Go ahead.
You will be a vision of hope for other people.
Absolutely.
You know, you may not know it, but people are paying attention. People always paying attention.
I tell them
People
that.
always paying attention to what's going on.
Yep.
They may not say nothing.
Yep.
You know, but people are always paying attention. So the more or the longer you do what you need to do for you.
That happened to me my first time in NA. I told Better House and Doc Watson and them, I ain't going no fucking where. That's my exact words, right? I ain't going nowhere. I ain't got to do nothing I don't want to do. He said, if you don't get your little ass up and go to this meeting, you're going to get your little ass out of here. I'm going to give you your shit. You ain't have nothing no way. This is how they used to talk to us back in the day, didn't it, Jack? Straightforward to the point. So I went because I knew I had nowhere to go. I shared this story with them. I went to, the meeting was right at this church building on Croger's property, right across from Better House. When I walked in there, what you just said, when you couldn't believe you seen people and all that, I couldn't believe the people I saw. Clean, looking good, smelling good, sharp as I don't know what. And a lot of them I thought was dead or in jail. You know, so definitely that inspired me. That made me realize that some got to work with this. What? You know what I'm saying? Even their whole demeanor was just different. That you could, I could never believe this one guy. I could never believe, because your mama's made sure you stayed away from him in Project. You know what I mean? Because he was that was clean 7 years.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. No.
Unbelievable. We still alive inside this sickness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We just got to get the information, the education, the medication, meaning the information and education. You know what I'm saying, right? That type of medication to get a prescription built for you to get off this vicious drug and alcohol. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm saying the same thing that you was putting out. It's just how I say things. This is why I need you, so you can come on and share, you know, and give your perspective of your life with drug and alcohol addiction. And might I tell y'all, this brother done went from that to a director of a program. You know what I mean? Just inspirational. You know what I mean? Just inspirational. And that's what that's just what fills me up. Every time I see you, you know how I am. You know, it's my boy. You follow what I'm saying? Anybody that's in the field that I'm in. We've been in this field for a long time. A long time. Jeff shared that, you know, it took him, what 7 days or something, 7 months or something, to actually get it. It took me the day I saw these people in NA. You follow what I'm saying? I never stopped going. I started, when I went back to the rehab, it was like I was just a changed person. You know what I mean? But I wasn't mentally changed. I was just inspired by what I saw. You know what I mean? That was the truth was hitting me. You know what I mean? And I knew it was like, damn, I know where these people come from. No, seriously, I know where these jokers come from. Something got to give. And they just told me you just have to learn how to listen. You know, so you can start hearing and working on your problem. You got to learn. You got to follow these 12 steps. You have to be willing. You got to surrender. So I call that day of my surrender. You know what I mean? That's literally how I felt. And I've been clean since that day. You know what I'm saying? You know, cocaine, clean. You follow what I'm saying? And it took a lot of years. You know, I'm just like, wow. Yo, I hope all the newcomers on here is hearing us out. You know what I mean? They're hearing the struggles that we've been through, you know what I mean? And getting to where we are today, recognizing the sharing that's coming on this live. You don't have to stay quiet. You know what I mean? You can just starting to learn how to surrender, you know, because that's first thing. You have to be willing and ready to start going through this roller coaster ride, because that's what it's kind of going to be. Ain't that right?
And that first step, first step is the one that I believe, and that's the beauty of 12-step programs, right? You know, I could go into the fellowship. That'll be a whole nother discussion. But the beauty of the 12-step programs is that you can get an understanding for yourself.
First step. All 12 steps.
Yeah, you can get an understanding.
It's going to put you where you need to be.
You get an understanding for yourself of the steps. You know, but to me, the most important step is that first step.
Surrendering.
That's the one that you have to work perfect
Got
every
you.
day. You know, the key principles with the first step to me is honesty, open mindedness, willingness. They say
That's right.
that they are indispensable principles. Like they're going to be in all of them steps.
That's right.
Acceptance. Now, people struggle with the first step. I ain't powerless over nothing, but that's only the first part of that step.
That was a hard thing to surrender to.
But that's
though.
only the first part.
Yeah.
The piece, I think what's just as important as powerlessness is the unmanageability.
The unmanageability.
Because when we just get in touch with powerlessness, you can be powerless, and still feel in your mind that you can manage again.
That's why people need to hear this,
Yeah,
you know, because
like-
it's like, I felt that way. I felt
Yeah.
like, I could do this. This is, this ain't nothing. You know,
Right,
I know
right.
I could stop.
Right.
I know I could stop.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I just gotta
Right.
get myself together.
Right.
What I was saying back towards the first step didn't even make sense.
Right.
But it made sense to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I just wasn't there yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when I went to that meeting, it put me right where my interest should go.
Right.
And as I learned the 12 steps, this is when I became myself. I started believing what I needed to believe in. I started to feel what those steps were saying.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the way that the steps was put, it guided me to where I'm at.
Right.
To this day.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, I rely on them. I rely on them every day I breathe. I promise you that. You know what I mean? And I just lost the thought of what I was getting ready to say. I told you I started making shit up after that. As long as it's based on what we're talking about. But I'm going to let you go because you know that makes... But that first step, I'm telling you, this is what I was going to say. Also, the fourth step keeps me in check. Taking a moral inventory on myself. I have to do that all the time. You know what I mean? With whatever comes to me, I don't care how it comes, I got to figure it out. I got to figure me out and how I'm going to deal with it. How I know I am, how I know I can be. You know what I mean? How I can jump right into Trey. You know, that's what I call my disease, my old self. You know what I mean? Into Trey. You know what I mean? And I got to figure it out. I always have to take a moral inventory.
Right.
No matter how many years I've been clean.
Right.
You know what you feel what I'm saying? Yeah, that's how that shit works for me.
Honesty, open-mindedness, willingness, acceptance, and surrender. How often must we surrender? Every day. Sometimes more than that. Sometimes you got to surrender moment by moment. So what are you surrendering to? You know, I surrendered to my thinking, my old way of thinking. I surrendered to other people's stuff too.
Go ahead, Keon. Love it.
Yeah, I surrendered to other people's stuff too because just like I'm not in control of what other people do either.
That's right.
You know, a lot of times people waste so much energy on trying to control.
Absolutely.
You know, like you just got to let people be where they're at. Like
Exactly.
I don't want to waste time on.
Say that again.
I don't want to
Jesus.
waste time on trying to control.
Say that again.
I don't want to waste time on trying to control.
You have to say it. I'm just shouting out because I'm
Yeah,
feeling
but
this
I
thing.
don't want to waste that time on trying to control other people's thoughts and actions, you know, because it's just, again, a waste of time, you know. So that's where I'm at. I thanks, Trey, for bringing me in. I want to tap
Hey, look,
out.
this is so awesome and so strong. They still there. You follow what I'm saying? That's how I know that people are listening. That's how I know that they are enjoying this live today. You know what I mean? And this is why I need you guys to come on. You know what I mean? I definitely want to have Jeff back. There's no doubt about that.
Just want to say again, the disease is a concept. The total self-centeredness is the core of our disease.
Go ahead.
The disease is made up of our obsession and compulsion. What is compulsion? Once having started the process with one fix, one pill, one drink, we cannot stop through our own power of will. Obsession, a fixed and often unreasonable idea such as resuming the use of drugs to feel better.
Go ahead.
That's what it is.
Go ahead.
That's what it is. So, I mean, you have to
y'all
buy
send
into
them
it.
hearts up if you enjoying
You have
this.
to buy
Please,
into the
please,
concept.
Send them claps,
But
them hearts and
that's
all
what
up
it
if
is.
you are enjoying this live tonight. You know, I knew that this would be great. I knew that this would be awesome. You know what I mean? Let's show Jeff all the love that we have. you know, and I expected it anyway. Now you know what I was speaking, what I was talking about. Showing him the clap, showing him the hearts, you know what I mean? Because the man is full of so much that can help people, as he been doing for a long time. Again, we can't make anybody get clean, you know what I mean? We can't make you believe in what we saying, but we're going to keep on kicking it out there to try to help the still suffering, because there's a lot of us. You know what I mean? And the promise from me to my higher power is that I will give it back. You know what I mean? And even getting people like Jeff and Michelle is next week, y'all. Michelle powerful too. Kiana, you got to come on, girl. I'm gonna have to blow you up even more, that you are. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what you not in a negative way, but you don't know what you holding, girl. Come on in here.
Oh, she know.
She know?
Yeah,
come on, but I don't know her, and I don't know her what she know, but I learned you today. I learned you tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because your name is just keep popping up. You know what I mean? And my eyes are steady going like this. You know what I mean? That's what I'm like, Jeff. You know, girl, I'm telling you, God is good. There's no doubt about that. God is good. I'm so glad I found him. You know what I mean? But y'all give Jeff a hell of a hand applause. And those hearts, you know, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you or not. Look at Tracy Allen. I'm going to give you the hearts back again. Because guess what, y'all? I'm still trying to learn how to send it to you after these go off. Michelle, you got to show me how to do this, cousin. You know what I mean? Trisha, y'all got to show me how to do all of that, okay? So, y'all, look, we're going to shut it down because we went a whole almost half an hour over. I truly am grateful for you guys tuning in and keep sharing this live, please. So just as many that's new today, it will be just as many tomorrow. You follow? Because we're helping people. Go ahead. I love them hearts. And to let y'all know, I do have them on. And I had a little heart necklace on, but Jeff came in with that Eagles thing, and I had to go up there and get my cowboy chain on. You know what I'm saying? But y'all know that all this is coming from the heart. And before we go off, I want to share this with everybody. Denise Matthews, girl, call me up on the phone. I know I put this on Facebook, and this is so beautiful. This is all about the love of what we do and what I'm doing. And Denise, I want to shout you out even on my live. I appreciate this. I love this. You know what I mean? And she told me when she saw this, she thought of me. You know, when I seen this and her giving me this makes me think of you. You follow what I'm saying? And I'm so happy and so glad that you guys are coming on this live. I really am. And Denise, thank you so very much. I appreciate it. I was showing everybody. She brought it to my job. I thought I was so special, as I am. But guys, we're going to get off this live, and we will be back next Wednesday. You know I can't wait, and we're going to have the beautiful Miss Michelle Saunders coming on next week. It's going to be just as powerful, you know, and hopefully the following week we might can get Kiana. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Kiana Palmer. You follow? Come on, Key. Please, much from the heart invited to get on the couch. You know what I'm saying? To get on the couch. We might could fit me and you on the other couch. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, thank you. I'm applauding you for all that you were saying, sharing, and sharing this live with me. So until next Wednesday, again, y'all get ready because you know I'm going to be blowing it up. Michelle will be in the house on the couch, okay? Jeff, you want to say something?
Just good night. Thank you all for listening. And thanks, Trey, for having me.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Don't even have to say. Look, every time I get up, I see another thing come up. I'm waiting to push it off again. Y'all know y'all got me doing this every week. All right. Love y'all. See you next Wednesday. Thank you.